He's not real.
Hi, Ryan. Welcome.
Ryan.
What are you doing here?
Ready to record.
Damn it. I gotta find someplace else to record, man. Me and Brandon aren't even in this show anymore. I'm using my house.
Alright, take your spot.
Nah, that's been settled.
So today on Inner Circle, we're going to talk about Avengers Ultron. Avengers Age of Ultron. If you haven't seen the second Avengers movie in the Infinity Saga, it's about an AI robot named Ultron whose goal is to stop all crime by killing all humans.
Hey, sexy mama. Want to kill all humans?
What do we think about Age of Ultron?
It's okay. He said he hates it. He says it's not a good movie. The guy off screen is over there. Everybody is like, it's blah, 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 blah. And I don't like it personally, but it's middle of the road for me. It's watchable. Characters have good chemistry as always in performances and dialogue. It's all fun. It's fine. But the plot, the villain's good in scenes, but overall the arc and the motivation, it's not entirely fleshed out enough. It lacks tension. It lacks the feel of the first movie, the build-up, which is, to be expected. But it doesn't build on those arcs. It doesn't build on those characters. The cinematography isn't as good. It's very brown. I don't like the look of the movie. It looked okay in the trailers, but when I was watching the movie, I'm like, I just want to fall asleep.
You sound like an old man just then. But anyway, honestly, I forgot.
Brown these days.
What do you got against brown things?
That's a very good question.
A lot, actually.
Out.
Out of here.
Out. Now.
Racist.
I'd like to make an unrelated recommendation to our Us review. Continue.
We will continue.
Continue.
Don't worry, this going into the next video. We'll continue then. Anyway, honestly, I did not remember much from Age of Ultron until I rewatched it literally earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
But after seeing every other Marvel movie, then going back and watching it, alright, I understand this movie better. It's a better movie to me. But originally, I didn't like it. I didn't remember it all that well.
Did you see it once in theaters?
Yeah.
What about you? How many times did you see it in theaters?
I think I also saw it once in theaters.
I saw it 3 times in theaters. I don't know why. I saw the first Avengers 3 times in theaters too. And I only saw Infinity War once, but I think back then I was more into Marvel. And so I just saw every movie multiple times. And I don't know why. Age of Ultron just kind of... I was very entertained by it when I first saw it, and I really liked it. And you say you forgot everything about it. I could have told you everything that happened in it a month after I saw it, 2 months after I saw it, and I still can. But as I grow as a film person, it doesn't really hold up as much. But I enjoyed it when it came out. And you talked about how you enjoy it more as a companion piece to all the other movies. It is a big setup movie. There's a lot of stuff that's just meant to set up other movies. And can I just rant about something? I've been waiting to do this rant for a long time. You know the scene when Thor has to go... You're getting excited, aren't you? I'm about to rant about something.
Well, I wanted to say... Can I
okay.
say my thoughts
yeah,
about
you say your...
first?
I'm sorry. You say your thoughts
Okay.
and then I'll rant.
Alright, Age of Ultron. My biggest thing about Age of Ultron is, like Ben says, it's a setup movie for the most part. Personally, I think Ultron was a bit stupid in the sense that he wanted to start a new world order full of robots. But he did that without there being any robots.
Yeah, where'd he get all those robots?
That's
Tony Stark.
What?
Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah. The,
No. At the beginning of Age of Ultron, he had an army of little tiny Iron Men.
Yeah.
There were like 10 of them.
Tony had more.
Yeah. Yeah, way more, and he was still building more.
And Ultron built more.
When did he build more? How did he do that?
He took over, I think, Baron Strucker's old headquarters, I guess, and then he just started building robots.
Stryker had the stuff to build robots?
Apparently so.
Shut up! There's going to be a character there.
Okay.
Maybe.
with Age of Ultron, one of my biggest things is, honestly, I feel like the other Marvel movies before it didn't set up to it very well. I think the only one that did was Winter Soldier, and only in the sense that Shield fell. That was it. They were like, okay, now we know Hydra's back. Let's go after Hydra. But then, like, they mentioned a lot of things in Age of Ultron that, like, we've never ever seen. Like the fact they're looking for Loki's scepter, we didn't know that. 1, 2, the fact that they had fought other enhanced individuals. Wait, so
was that a thing?
Yeah, they said in the very beginning. They're like, oh, we faced enhanced before, but nothing like these two.
Was that line in the movie? Because that was a terrible line.
Not like that, but that's pretty much that's actually kind of very close.
Okay,
it's very close.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I was saying like these two. They said like the Avengers, like yeah, we faced enhanced individuals before, but nothing like them. Nothing like the Avengers.
Yeah. And I feel like that was one of the biggest things for me that I don't like about this movie. That is one. Well, that's just a thing that I don't like about this movie. Like, Ultron's okay as a villain. I mean, he's not a bad villain. He's
definitely not one of the weakest Marvel villains.
Oh God,
I love some of his lines. Like, there's one line where he's building Vision, I think, and he's talking about vibranium, and he calls it, he says, the most versatile substance on the planet, and they use it to build a frisbee. Like, typical of humans. A lot of his dialogue I just like. A lot of his lines are really
I
good.
definitely liked a lot of his dialogue, and, like, his line, I don't remember the exact line, but, like, when he had the doctor kidnapped, and he was standing over, like, the body that was going to be Vision, he was talking about how Vision would be his vision, would bring his vision of a better world or something like that. I thought it was actually like really kind of like a little bit poetic, honestly. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact line, but I remember thinking like, wow, that was actually really beautiful. But I don't know. I guess Ultron was more human than I expected.
It's so easy. They thought it would be clever to have a robot seem very human, but it's so easy to write a human character and then just say he's a robot. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like, so he's a robot, and they don't give him any robotic characteristics. He didn't feel like an and I actually like, in the comics, does Ultron have a face that has expressions?
No.
See, that would have been awesome if he didn't have expressions. I know some people would disagree. They would be like, but you need to see the emotion. But I'm just like, I think it would be really intimidating to have just a cold-faced, like, expression that's like a mask.
That's what Ultron looks like.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he doesn't, like, really have much of a face. It's just kind of like a thing, and, like,
see that glows. The scene where his first scene is cool because he's like a limping little broken robot and he just doesn't have a face. That was cool. And then they just give him like have you noticed his lips? Like his mouth? It's just like these little pieces of metal, but they just move like freaking like a real mouth. It's weird.
That's because they basically just did motion capture for him.
Whatever. I like James Spader's voice. It's a
he has a great voice. I would say that.
It's beautiful. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
There's going to with Ultron. I just realized this watching it today. That is trying to go the Pinocchio route.
Oh yeah.
They mentioned Pinocchio so much in that movie, and it was so weird.
There are no strings on me.
I remember the first time I saw that. Do you remember the trailer for Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Where it had the Pinocchio like kind of song in the background, where it was like all creepy and stuff. Okay. It was chemistry, and I was in there, and then I had to go. I asked my teacher if I could go to the bathroom because we weren't allowed to use our phones. So I went to the bathroom, thinking I'm just going to the bathroom. Wrong. I'm not. I'm in a stall watching the trailer, and I remember really enjoying it because I like that. I really like the trailers. That's all I wanted to say. The trailers for this movie was great, and I was really excited for the movie. More so than any other Marvel movie. Like, Avengers came out of nowhere because I'm not a comic book person. I didn't know what it was. I saw it like any other normal person. Mm-hmm. But Age of Ultron, I knew what that was.
The thing I guess like I said, with Age of Ultron, I know a little bit about the actual Age of Ultron comic event. In the Age of Ultron comic event, Ultron... It's an alternate universe, basically, where Ultron ends up killing all of the Avengers and then creating a utopian society full of just Ultron robots. And that's where the idea for Next Avengers came from, is based off that actual event. And I was kind of expecting something not exactly that where he kills the Avengers, but something similar where he's like making these super intelligent robots. He's got like a police force going, maybe turning people into robots. I thought that would have been cool. That's what I was expecting. And honestly, we never see him with actual other robots until like that very last scene, and then we get that last scene with him and Vision, and it's like, I don't remember what they said, but it was like, oh, okay.
Oh wait, the last scene between Ultron and Vision?
Yeah.
I know all the dialogue for that scene.
What did they say?
Okay, they said, you're afraid of death. You're the last one. You were supposed to be the last. Stark asked for a savior and settled for a slave. I suppose we're both disappointments. Suppose we are. Humans are odd. They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be. But there is grace in their failures. I think you miss that. They're doomed. Yes, but a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. You're unbearably naive. Well, I was born yesterday. I love that scene. I think that scene's great. Thank you.
Actually, rehearing that dialogue, that is actually very, very well written.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually very, very great last, and it that is a very human moment for both Vision and Ultron.
Yes,
they both become real boys at that moment.
Pretty much, and it's actually, I just think that's a little weird because in my opinion, that's one of that's one of Vision's humanist moments. Because I mean, this is jumping ahead, but in Civil War, he's very robot. He doesn't understand humans. He doesn't get humans, and he even comments that he's like, "Oh, I'm still trying to learn human culture." And you're just like,
in my defense, I've never eaten anything before. I love his motion when he does that.
Yeah, you're just
I've never eaten anything before.
You're a weird robot. You're just a weird robot with awesome powers. But like when in that scene where he actually says those things, it's so poetic and it's so deep and profound that you don't sit there and think this is an android. You think there's some human aspect. This is an AI. This is a robotic being who thinks and feels the way humans do. And I just think it's really weird that afterward Vision very much less like that. Like the only human area that they have for Vision after this movie is just the fact that he loves Wanda.
Yeah.
That's such a waste of a character.
Wait, what?
The fact, in my opinion, after Age of Ultron, the only human side that we see from Vision is his love for Wanda.
Huh. Yeah. Yes, I do see that. Right? That's so stupid.
Exactly. It's so
we don't get any moments like the between him and Ultron. That moment is so awesome, but we don't get stuff like that from him anymore because every scene, I'm now remembering, every scene we have of him is him with Wanda in Infinity War, not in Civil War. No, in Civil War there was just kind of like no. Oh yeah, they do have a scene together. No, it's just the scene of them together in the facility, and then at the end they apologize to each other when they were fighting.
They had two scenes together in Avengers Compound.
What was the other one?
The first one was when he just kind of walked into a room.
Yeah, through the wall.
Yeah,
but that was just his cap was there. That was whatever.
Oh, I guess. And yeah, the second one was when Hawkeye saved her. Besides that, he's just very robotic, very android. Which I mean, he's an android, but he's more than just an android. I mean, technically, the technical definition of an android is just a robot that has humanoid features. But he's an AI. That means he can think, feel, and all these other things that humans do. And it's just, honestly, it's a waste. It's a waste. Because even when he was Jarvis, he had, emotions and, a sense of humor, all these things. He felt very human when he was Jarvis. And suddenly he becomes Vision, meets Wanda, and is like, you know what? Peace. All that goes out the window. And I just dislike it.
I never thought about this. He's like a different character out of Age of Ultron. That's really weird. I've never looked at it like that. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing. Which is weird because Age of Ultron isn't a great movie, but it got Vision right.
Yeah, it did great with Vision, and honestly, I think one of the few
did good in one scene with Quicksilver at the end
when he died.
Yeah.
You like that scene?
I didn't like it, but it was touching.
When he sacrificed himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of
touching.
And
his final lines bet you didn't see that coming.
Ooh, I like the way that this movie treated Hawkeye. Because
Yes.
he didn't really have much of a character in Avengers, and in this movie they made him more of like the comic relief.
Yes.
They made him almost like a joke, but it worked for him so well.
What I was gonna say was actually that I think one of the strong points in Avengers Age of Ultron are the characters themselves, like the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like because like Avengers 1, we kind of see their personalities and everything, but not a lot. Honestly, they're kind of just so busy, like, let's go save the city, that we don't really see a lot of who they are. Or even a team dynamic, really. They don't really have a team dynamic. Avengers Age of Ultron, they're organized. They have, like, you know, what is the word I'm thinking of? Like, plans of how they would go into battle.
Yeah.
Strategy. They have strategies. They have all these things, you know, they have good dynamic, they're interacting with each other, like, after Avengers 1, like, honestly, when Thor leaves, it feels like we're never going to see him. Honestly, after the end of Avengers, they kind of foreshadow that they might never come back together, and I think they did this because, like I said before, Avengers 1 was such an experimental movie that they weren't sure that they would continue with the MCU, so they left the ending like that, so they could end it there if they needed to. And then they came out with Phase 2, and like in all these movies, we never actually we never see them interacting with each other. We don't even know if they're in contact with each other. The only people we actually see together is Cap with Natasha, and that's it. But somewhere between Civil War and Age of Ultron, all the Avengers came together. That means after everything that happened in Thor 2, Thor came back to Earth and was like, you know what, I'm gonna chill with the Avengers and go do my thing. After everything in Civil War, Winter Soldier, after Winter Soldier, after S.H.I.E.L.D. fell down, the Avengers some point came together. They started that means they trained together. They did things together. They fought together. They got to know each other. They started living together. And honestly, it's very believable in the movie, and I like that. But overall, looking at Marvel, I just wish there would have been more of a build up to that. I feel like that's like a lost opportunity.
It's like, oh, we're a team now.
Yeah, they just threw us in that, and like, okay, cool, action throw in. This is cool. We're thrown into the movie immediately, and it's like just a giant action scene, which is awesome. It looks pretty cool, but like, I mean, it throws in all this information, like the fact that they had been fighting Enhanced, the fact that they've been going after Loki's scepter for apparently since the end of the first Avengers movie. Even though, you know, in Thor 2, he definitely didn't care about that.
I didn't even remember that. Wait, what happened to it? Because at the end of the first Avengers movie, the last time we see it, Natasha's holding it.
Somehow Hydra got it. Yeah.
Okay.
All these things that just so happened between Avengers 1 and 2, and like, they just throw it into you. And I'm like, it makes me wonder if they had actually thought about what they were going to do for Avengers 2 before they decided to do Avengers 2, and I feel like they didn't. I feel like they just were like, okay, how can we make an awesome Avengers movie? I don't know. Let's just Ultron. Okay, and they just did it.
Yeah, that, and I think they just trying to make this more as a set movie for the other movies to come along.
Exactly. I feel like that too, because at that point, when we get Avengers Age of Ultron, it's the end of Phase 2. At that point, they know they want to continue. They want to do more. They know they want to build a giant universe that's going to last, according to them, 20 plus years. So I feel like Phase 2, in all honesty, was a mixture of how can we build something from what we started with, while also being, what the heck do we do now? Because honestly, if you like, I mean, we were only 4 movies: Guardians, Thor,
Iron Man, Winter Soldier.
Iron Man, and Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was a big setup. It's a great movie, but it's a big setup. Thor 2, it's a setup. Because they introduced the first Infinity Stone that we see. Technically the third. They introduced, technically they introduced the third Infinity Stone in that movie, and that's the first time we are actually introduced.
What are the first two?
The first one would be the Tesseract. The second one would be the Mind Stone, which is in Loki's scepter.
Oh yeah, I forgot those certain things.
Yeah, which is
It's
stupid.
shown
but
in.
Yeah, I know. I forgot.
No one says in.
somehow
Ultron.
the blue stone in Loki's scepter is actually a yellow stone. How does that make sense? They didn't think about it. They just were like, you know what? How can we make it cool? Thanos, cool. But like that's what I'm saying. It's like there wasn't much of a plan, so they just kind of did things and thought, okay, well, now that we've had these movies, because I mean, different directors for all these movies too. That's why I think the only reason Winter Soldier sets up for Avengers is because it was done by the Russo brothers. And who did Avengers 2? I think it was the Russo. Was it actually the Russo brothers?
Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
That was Joss Whedon.
Josh Whedon, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't make even more sense. How do you not reference? How do you put that much space between your movies? And like,
No clue.
honestly, I think part of it is that Marvel just at that point were like, you know what, we don't know how to continue this. We're just gonna try some things, see if it works. All you directors, do what you want. And then after phase 2, they realized we can't just do that. We actually have to have a solid plan. We need to know what we're doing. We need these directors to know this is what needs to like be touched on with these movies. And that's my opinion. Sorry, that was a big rant.
This jumps into Infinity War, but they Vision over. You notice in Age of Ultron, the stone is only like this big.
Mind Stone?
Yeah, the Mind Stone's only like this big. But in Infinity Wars, it's huge. Like
It's more like this big, yeah.
yeah,
Like after he takes it off his head, it's like just huge.
Yeah, I'm like, hold up. I was just thinking back on it, I'm like, hold up. When they broke the scepter and showed the stone, it wasn't that big.
It was tiny.
Oh yeah. It's because people wouldn't notice. That's why they did it. Or thought they could get away with it, and they did. I didn't notice that. That thing is, I did think about it at one point though, because that thing on his head is really small.
It is really small, and then you put it in the gauntlet, and the gauntlet's huge.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot what I was going to rant about, by the way. Like 20 minutes ago.
oh. Well, I went on my rant, so that never happens. You're welcome, guys. But overall, what would we rate this?
5. I've known since I saw it the third time.
I'll be generous. 5.5 to a 6.
Is that a reference to something?
No.
Oh.
I was being generous. Like 5.5 to a 6. Cause
2 6.
2 or 6. Yeah. So between a 5.5 and a 6.
Oh, I said 5.
5.5, number 2 6.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous at first. But I guess I would say probably somewhere between 5 and 6. I don't know where I would put it. Because while there are a lot of things that are wrong with this movie, in my opinion, a lot of things that make it bad, like my entire freaking rant. But there are some things about it that are good, like the character dynamics. They're really good. Joss Whedon did great with the characters. Ultron, well, I mean, he could have been better.
His special effects could have been better.
Oh, his special effects could have been a lot better. But he is a very kind of profound villain. He actually kind of makes you think.
I don't know what that word means, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah. And his dialogue is great.
Yeah.
His dialogue is amazing. And I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite Avengers movie. There are obviously some character things that I don't like, but I don't know. I would say that it's still a good movie. So maybe 5.5. I guess 5.5. I would say 5.5.
I'm trying to find. I have a list on my phone of all these movies. Here it is. I have Age of Ultron. So going from the bottom, Incredible Hulk, Thor 2, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 2, and there's Age of Ultron. So everything else is above it. For me.
Wait, so what was on that?
I can't remember.
I heard Ant-Man and Doctor Strange.
Okay, Incredible Hulk, Thor 2,
Okay.
Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 2, Avengers Age of Ultron.
And all the other movies are better?
Yes.
I actually can't be too mad at that list.
Yeah, you know what? I could probably agree with that. Yeah. Well, guys, join us next week as we talk about Avengers Infinity War on our countdown to Endgame. We'll discuss if Infinity War is better than Ultron and the first Avengers, which so far, probably,
It is.
honestly it is. And to recap, Avengers 2, okay movie, not better than the first Avengers. Probably not better than. Okay, let's be honest. It's not better than Infinity War, but still worth the watch. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
I remember what I was gonna rant about.